Could I speak to a supervisor? I have an important concern. I'm not bullshit. Could I speak to a supervisor? Sir? Could I speak with a supervisor?
Don't do it, dude. Get back! Please, get back! Get back now! Hey, move it now! Move it! This is it! You see a woman on the ground. Back up! Back up! Back up! You're gonna get back! Back up! Back up! I'm pregnant! You like that guy? Get back!
Get everything recorded. Just stand back. Come here. Stand with me. You stand with me. Stand with me. It's the best thing you can do right here.
They throwing down my aunt, dude.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You stay right with me. You stay right with me.
They threw down my aunt. They
listen to
my
me.
cousin 3 times.
Listen to me. You stay right with me, okay? Huh?
We got on video. Who's the aggressor here? Who's the aggressor?
Listen, let it go. Let it go.
Am
let it
I
go.
carrying an AR?
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Dude, seriously. Don't give them the satisfaction of taking you away. All right? Stay with me. Okay? Listen to me. Listen to me. They're looking bad right now. Okay? Seriously.
It's my family.
Don't give them the satisfaction. I know that. I know that.
It's my family.
I know that.
Guys!
Listen to me. Dude, listen. Come on. Come here, bro. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't give them the satisfaction. I know this is okay, bro. I know you got a lot of energy. I would do what they do it, okay?
I've had family members fighting for this freedom.
I know how they act there. They want nothing.
I've had uncles die for this.
They want nothing more than to take
This is America.
That's fucked up.
Listen to me, come here. Listen to me. You get on the record. I want you to talk to me right now.
Yeah.
Back up, okay?
Yeah.
I want you to tell the American public what you just saw, dude, all right? I want you to tell them. What did you just say?
Enemy aggressors. This is the road I grew up on. This is the road I grew up on. 1359 Riverside Road, Highway 170, Nevada. And I just saw federal agents throw my aunt on the ground. I saw my cousin get tased 3 times. I saw him pull dogs and sick it on a pregnant woman. Right now, just now, it's happening as we speak.
Listen.
Because we had a couple questions. I got hit by multiple vehicles because I wanted a couple questions. They hit me with their mirrors. I got hit with that dump truck. This is America, and they are the aggressors. We're not the aggressors.
You know what, kid? Hey, can we stop? Sir, can we stop those vehicles right there? No, I'll back up. Hey, you know what? No. Your court order does not allow. What is it? Killing of cattle.
No BLM! No BLM! No BLM! No BLM!
You guys don't know what you're stirring up. How many people are willing to die? Are you willing to kill for this?
What are you doing with the backhoes? That's all we want to know. What are you doing with the backhoes? That's all we want to know, dude.
Who's got the ARs? Who's got the body armor? I left my pocket knife at home. Who's got the guns?
Comply with the order. Yes, sir. Comply with the order. Come here. Come with me. Comply with their orders. You understand? That's where you get in trouble. Come with me. Come here.
I don't want it.
Huh? No, I know, but you have to. You don't give them the satisfaction. You gotta come back.
I know,
okay?
but they gotta see my face.
You want to take me? Go ahead! Get out of here! You are one fucking pussy!
I want to know which one's taking the chicken shit road. Go before us. Go that way.
Yeah, we noticed you tried
Yeah,
to
you chicken shits, you hide around and take
Hey,
different roads.
we'll see you in federal court, buddy.
You drive your little truck past the sign.
You need to leave now.
We're done.
Hey, get
You're not done, dude. You're not done.
Get
Hey,
out of here.
you're done when we say you're
Get out of
done.
here, you losers. Big American hero. You guys need to get
We don't mean any harm, bro. We don't mean any harm. Oh, I will stay back. I don't mean any harm. I'm just recording your brutality.
Sir, for your own safety, would you move
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
My baby calf. You're under the bushes dying because you stick their mama. You're terrorists.
Get the hell out. Hey. Hey. Hey.
You threw a woman on the ground.
That's it.
Who threw the woman?
He won't deal with you throwing a woman on the ground.
No, it was Margaret.
It was Margaret that he threw on the ground, the one that had cancer.
She's cancer rim. She's a mess.
She's been fighting cancer.
Where is she?
Get out of here.
That was her charge.
Get out of our state. Get out of here.
Right here, Margaret, in your shirt.
Pull back. That's right, baby. That's right. BLM, go away. BLM, go away. BLM, go away. BLM, go away. That's how we. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes. Come on, brothers. Yeah. Here we go, brothers. Here we go, brothers.
That one had Oregon plates on that son of a bitch.
Who got? Where's Margaret?
Margaret, get over here and tell him what they did. Look at her. Look at her feet.
Margaret.
Hand. Look at her hand. I have 11 children. I'm 57 years old, and they threw me to the dirt.
Why did they throw you?
I was saying. I was taking pictures. I'm getting in front of their vehicle and taking pictures.
Right.
I just said, get out of here. Get out of here.
You did.
That's all I did.
And they said, you said,
They didn't
get out of the
say
way.
it.
They
I
did.
said, get out. No, they didn't say anything. I was just sitting down.
Are you okay?
No, I hurt. I mean, they scraped my knee.
Do you want me to call a medic? Let's get this
No,
documented.
look
Okay?
at this. And here.
Do you remember who did it to you?
No, I didn't see because
Okay.
it was like I was like
Listen to
this. Okay. And
Listen.
they just tackled me and threw.
I'm going to
pushed me.
contact 911. You're going to get this documented.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. They pushed me. She has cancer.
Based on what you just told me, you have cancer, man.
I've been
Hold that microphone.
free for 2 years on cancer. I just quit my treatment. And listen to her throat. She had it in her throat, and they're throwing her down, choking her. Hey, how are you?
Hello, 911.
I was.
Hi, 911. We have a medical situation requiring EMS support at the Bundy Ranch. We had a member of the. I have it documented, by the way, on video.
Tell them you're the reporter. They won't
I'm
come.
the reporter. Hello.
See, okay.
Are you there?
They hang up on you.
Hey, interview Stitzy. They have a feeling I don't want to be here. I want to leave.
I don't tell you. That's the one I said push her down. Right. I didn't want to be.
Hello.
If they
Could you send a medic for a medical situation at Bundy Ranch? This is on Riverside, correct? Are we on Riverside?
I'm not sure.
Excuse me.
So.
No, we're at exit 112, right at the corner where it says Bundy Melons. I-15 to exit 112. Make a right on, I think it's Riverside. Come over the river. I-15 northbound. I-15 northbound. Exit 112, okay? You're going to make a right. And you will come all the way, just cross the river, and we're on the other side of the river, okay? We'll be here for you. 760. 686.
Yeah, I was just, you know, kind of following him down a dirt road, just hollering at him, go home.
3852.
I didn't swear, I didn't even just say, go home. We just
Hello?
wanted to go home. And then they come out, and I got in front of one truck, and I was I just kind of up on the hood, and they were rolling, so I was just going back like this with them.
Did they hit you with the car?
Yeah, I was on the car. I mean, I was there, they hit me, I come like this. I just followed it back, and then I stood to the side, that one let me go by. Then the next one come, and I just kind of stood in front trying to take pictures. I don't think I got any pictures, and then I kind of stood back, and I was just.
David Knight for Infowars.com. I just wanted to shoot a quick video to let everybody know what the current status is. A lot of people are following us on Ustream Live. A lot of people did not see that, so I just wanted to encapsulate what's happened today. It's been a very eventful day. Now, if you remember yesterday, there were protesters who went to the sheriff's office down in Las Vegas. It's about an hour and a half drive away from here, asking him to do something. They were pretty much met with a cold shoulder. We were met with a cold shoulder when we just tried to get some information from the public information officer. And today, this morning, Cliven Bundy got a call from the sheriff. He wanted to meet with him at 9 a.m. Had a huge turnout of people in support of Cliven Bundy from all over the country. We had people from very far away come to support him. It was a big crowd. We had an 8 o'clock meeting scheduled with him to shoot an interview. That was delayed. The family was in prayer for what was going to happen today. And at 9 o'clock, he said he would not meet privately with the sheriff, but if the sheriff had something to say, he could say it to the entire crowd. And so when the sheriff got there, he read a press release from the Bureau of Land Management saying that they were going to reopen the range for cattle. And as you remember, we shot a video just the other day showing how they had taken down the cattle guard signs that were at the entrance to the grazing area. Cattle guard is some metal bars that they put into the road. The cattle will not cross them because they're spaced about 4 to 6 inches apart. And they had warning signs for the cars as they were crossing over that. Also, they had open range signs. They didn't take that one down because that was right across the road from the protesters. That would have created quite an event if they tried to take that down. But they did take down the cattle crossing guards. Today, they were up. That struck us as very unusual. But anyway, the sheriff came in and said that they were going to open up the range, and while he was doing that, Mr. Bundy was standing there with his arms crossed, just kind of looking at him, and when he got finished, he said, "This is what I want from you. I want the guns confiscated from these BLM thugs and put on the stage." I'm paraphrasing him, not quoting him exactly, but he wanted the guns rounded up by the sheriff, put on the stage in 1 hour. And in 1 hour, he said he wanted the barricades and the checkpoints that they had set up to collect fees from people, because it's a people's land, that they had used as a pretense and excuse to brutalize people. A young man was murdered by the BLM just a few weeks ago at Red Rock because he got into some area that they said he wasn't supposed to be in. He wanted those areas taken down. He wanted the firearms collected, and he gave the sheriff 1 hour to do it. And so then it was a festive mood for a while there. He did not ask for his cattle at that point. What he wanted was his freedom back, his liberty back, his country back. His son had already said how frustrating and how crazy it was to see militarized men pointing guns at them in the early part of the week as this was just starting, before the crowds started to come in. And we didn't hear anything from them for about an hour, a little bit more than an hour, and so Mr. Bundy said, "Let's go get the cattle." And everybody, at that point, all the cowboys who had come on horseback, as a matter of fact, as he delivered his ultimatum and the sheriff was going off, they had a huge number of cowboys that were mounted come out with flags. It was like the beginning of a rodeo. And they came out with the flags, rode up the hill, planted the flags. So there was singing, Pledge of Allegiance, things like that. Kind of a festive attitude for a while. Looked like they were not going to come back, so he said, "Let's go get the cattle. We know where they are." Everybody went out in a large convoy. The cowboys rode out on horseback. And we got there in the cars before they did, parked the cars, and went down into a culvert. Now, they have a staging area where the BLM has been for a long time, as well as where they had the cattle. And as the people, as we all got down underneath the overpass, this is under just off of I-15. As we got down the north overpass, they were just on the other side of the south overpass, and there was a gap between them, so they were kind of far away. And they started barking that they were armed, that they would shoot. They said that they had a court order. We had to vacate the area. We did not leave. We stayed where we were. We waited. When the cavalry essentially got there, the guys on horseback, the crowd then moved over to the other overpass. There was still some distance between us and the armed agents. Now, the armed agents is about 20 armed agents. They were in full body armor, full military camo. They were wearing helmets. They had AR-15s pointed at the crowd. They were hiding behind their vehicles, and they kept playing this loop saying that they would shoot, that we had to leave the area. They had a court order. But we were giving the orders today. We were not going to be the cattle. We were going to get the cattle. And so gradually the crowd moved to the gate. When they got to the gate, I think the BLM guys got very afraid. They sent a guy out to parley. He wanted the brothers to come in. They said, we're not leaving. You bring the cattle out here. If you got something to say, you say it to the crowd. They would consistently not accept the compromise being offered by the BLM. They were not going to go and let themselves be isolated. Now, much later on, Dave Bundy, after they talked for a while, he did go in and talk with the BLM, but at that time they had brought out the sheriffs, and sheriff officers were there. They wanted the people just to move back a little bit from the fence to ease the nerves of the BLM agents, and eventually the BLM agents moved back. Now, Josh has got some great footage as they move back. You see them marching backwards. It was kind of like a cross between a moonwalk and a goose step, and they had their guns in front of them as they're marching back, keeping their eyes on us with their helmets and that sort of thing. But they did leave. They turned their cars around. We had to wait for quite a while. We were there for maybe 2.5 hours in the sun. They packed up the BLM and they drove these guys out. It took a very long time for that to happen. They shut down the interstate going both north and south, I-15, so they could get these cars out, and we counted them as they were driving, over 80 vehicles. And as they were leaving, the crowd gave them one-fingered salutes, and then eventually they brought the cattle out. It took a long time because they had to get the pedestrians that were down still on the culvert. We could not get any live coverage down the culvert, so I went up. We didn't have as good a video footage as we did down below, but we did take live footage that we'll be uploading later. The cows that they had have now been returned. I heard a report, I've not verified, that 130 head were run to death in the heat by the helicopters as they were rounding them up. I heard that 2 bulls were shot by BLM agents, so we don't know at this moment what that tally is. Each of those head of cattle are about $1,000 to $1,500 a head. So that's a lot of money right there that they have destroyed. We'll keep you updated as things go. Now, of course, they had declared a 30-day no-fly zone over the area. We'll see what's going to happen. The concern that we have at this point is that this is a victory, definitely a victory in a battle. We need to broaden this out. It is not just the BLM and its corruption. Of course, as Infowars.com reported yesterday, there was a connection between Harry Reid, his son as a lobbyist, and a Chinese corporation, ENN, to build a giant solar farm that was going to be a $5 billion project. And Infowars discovered documents where they linked Bundy and his, quote, trespassing cattle, said they had to be removed before they could proceed with the project. Of course, the Walton Family Foundation, which is some family members that own Walmart stock, they also had given a $400,000 grant to the BLM, and they made that grant conditional on removing this small family business. So think about that. There's a war on family businesses, and it isn't just about the BLM. It's also Obama's affordable health care, putting millions of men out of work, businesses out of work, women out of work, requiring them to buy insurance that they don't need, or canceling their policy if they can't afford a Cadillac policy, forcing young men who are not married to buy maternity insurance, for example. There are many ways that the government uses regulations and codes that are not passed by their elected representatives. Obama is changing Obamacare. We've got the BLM writing the laws and sending down hired mercenaries to enforce this, people who do not have law enforcement credentials. This is a large problem. Cliven Bundy has shown us how to do this, how to stand up, stand firm, stand together. We can stand these people down. We can win this war. We saw the fear in their eyes. We saw the fear of the sheriff. We saw the fear of the BLM agents. We can win this war. David Knight for Infowars.com.